Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Scrap-Mart Live. We're going to do a technique here tonight that is kind of fun and is kind of crazy. It's something that uses the supplies you most likely have at home. We're going to use some basic buttons, a variety of adhesive. We're going to use some good old ink and an ink applicator of any kind. We're going to use the ever-famous variety of flower revolution dies. Okay, any kind of flower you have around. Some bling paper, which means shiny, some good old white cardstock, Cuttlebug embossing folder of any kind, a trimmer, and a Scor-Pal, as well as our handy dandy revolution. So the first thing we need to do is I have cut some pages out of my world book. Now this is a 1967 edition of the world book. Things have changed, so I don't really need these and use it to make some fun art. So this is a page here that has some words on it, and all I'm going to do is tear off the excess and take my glue stick, which I've buried over here, and apply it to just some ivory cardstock. Actually is what I have here. Secure on my paper. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put this down here. And then I always use, whenever I'm using a glue stick, I use a brayer, because a brayer just kind of smears all that glue out, smushes it into all the corners, and assures me a really awesome contact. Okay, so now that we've got that, obviously we know that the revolution cuts 4-inch strips. What you want to end up with is a 4-inch piece of your type adhered to some ivory cardstock. Then I'm going to put down, alright, I didn't leave it quite big enough. It's got handy right now. Roll that through. I'm just going to roll it back because I'm working on this side of the camera. So there's a couple flowers. And then since I've got this here, I'm going to put this up. Okay, so remember, you can always use your 4-inch mat on your 12-inch platform. That makes it quicker for you. Punch out those guys. This is my favorite flower because it's kind of like Build-A-Bear for flowers. Let's build a flower. So all those pieces are going there. The rest is going in the trash. Now I'm going to real quick run the same 2 dies through with some bling. Okay, so that we are done with. So I'm going to still punch out my flowers, and I just kind of pile them up with like pieces so I know what I've got. Now it's a matter of grabbing my glue dots and my buttons. Now this is my little glue dot dispenser. And what I like to do is just kind of vary. I'm going to do some bling on top, some bling on the bottom, just to give a little variety. And don't forget that you can mix flowers from other dyes. They don't have to just be on the same die to use together. Okay? You can decide how they go. And let's see, what else goes with orange? Let's do this real. Okay, so now let's move our flowers over to the side. And we're going to grab our craft colored cardstock. Now we're going to grab our Scor-Pal. Okay, on your Scor-Pal here, you have all of your measurements, but you also have some dots. But what that does is if you score on the dot and score on the dot, and remember, this becomes your outside, okay? So whatever is facing up is the outside of your card, because everything just folds right in. So we're going to fold these in. And these, the 2 dots scored together, give you a perfect gatefold. So what I do is run a nice sharp crease down there. So I have it's a gatefold, just a little different. So what I also want to do is get my other piece. So we had 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I'm going to cut everything a 1/4 inch smaller, which makes it 4 by 5 1/4. Verify. I'm gonna hold it up here. I'm doing this tone-on-tone monochromatic because I love this look. So we are going to put through the revolution. And we're going to put our piece of cardstock. I'm going to center it there in the dots. And if you remember, what we need to do with this is use our sticky mat and a couple pieces of cardstock. Run that through. That's a little on the stiff side. There we go. All right, so there I've got my emboss piece. I love this Swiss dot. It is so universal. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, because I've used these old pieces of Encyclopedia, I'm going to take some brown ink and my color box inking tool, and I'm just going to really lightly run over. Okay. You could also do it this way. You just want those dots to pop and a little bit of distressing to go on. Then we're going back to our gatefold card, and we are just going to put some adhesive on the left-hand side of this card, down from the top and bottom. And then we are going to center this on the whole card front. Okay. All right. So there we have our card front. It's going to open just like that. But now we get to do some of the flowers. We get to put the flowers on. But what I like to do first is, because we're going kind of with this aged look, is you got to ink up your text, your encyclopedia pages, or whatever it is that you ended up using. So we're going to ink that up. We're going to do this one also. A little bit of distressing. Okay, and then this one, we're just going to pounce over a little bit. Now, glue dots I still think work the best for this, because now we're going to adhere to a texture. So put a couple of glue dots on each flower. Then we're going to make one different. That one is too big. Too big. That's what happens when you wing it like this. And I think the black adds to it. I love black and brown together. I think they really work well. And put that there. Now, what I like to do is, wherever the leaves are cardstock, okay, not the ones that have the layers of our text pages, but wherever the pieces are just cardstock, go through and kind of flip them with your finger now. I think it just gives it a little tiny bit of dimension. Just to kind of pop it out. Okay. Now, this would totally be easy to add a rub-on or a stamped greeting. Okay, so there's the orange one that I just did earlier today. I did the exact same one in pink and lime green. I also did one with pink and black on some lime green. And that's, here it is. Then there's my Halloween. I did it in purple and oranges and blacks. All totally different. And that's what's lovely about these flower dies. If you just sit here and punch out a bunch of them, you can sit and assemble them. You can even die cut them out of your revolution. Totally bring some life back into some old shapes that you have. All these shapes are available online at scrapmart.com. I just checked the inventory. They're all there. And even though these have been around for a while, you probably have them in your stash. Don't forget your Scor-Pal. Score at the dots, the little polka dots on the grid lines, and that'll give you the perfect gatefold card every single time. All right. Thanks for watching Scrap-Mart Live. See you next time.